And we're live.
Kind of on the class warfare thing. I'll make it quick, but I found a new TV show that's pretty good. All right, it's called Snowpiercer. You remember the movie Snowpiercer?
Yes.
Where they're on the train that the world is frozen over.
You're eating the bug bars.
Eating the bug bars. Spoiler alert. Yeah.
Whatever.
So there's a TV show. And it's actually pretty fucking good. Like one season's already out, and the second season is like debuting right now. Like season 2, episode 1 came out last week.
What's it on?
I think it's on TNT, but I watched it on HBO, and I think it might be on Amazon too. It's pretty good. I liked it. It's extremely violent. I've seen enough nudity to keep me interested, and I like the characters. And I like the. At first, I was like, "How are you going to make that movie into a TV show and keep that going episodically?"
Is it an even bigger train?
It's the same train. It's just a different story. It's it's
Is this
there's
a
still
prequel to it, or
no. This is ignoring the movie.
It's just the movie again, but longer.
It's all right. No, it's a TV show called Snowpiercer.
So it's the movie, but shorter. I get it. Say no more.
TV show called Snowpiercer about the movie Snowpiercer.
No, forget the movie.
Okay, I've forgotten it. But what does it have to do with the movie?
Everything. And nothing.
Okay.
All right. Like the characters are all different. The story is different. However, it does take place on a train that is, was created by Mr. Wilford. And there are the people called the tailies who are in the tail of the train, who are like the shitty class, who like are really just stowaways. They didn't have tickets. They barged onto the train and they got shoved back there, and they've had to resort to cannibalism, and they're all filthy back there. And then there's the third class, second class, and first class people. And the first class people are all snooty, and they've got like hundreds of millions of dollars invested. That's why they are in the first class. And Jennifer Connelly is like the star of the show, and she's like the head of hospitality, and she's like the face, the forward-facing face of Mr. Wilford, as it were. She's the one who's out there solving problems and getting to the bottom of things.
If I were an uber wealthy guy who was making a train for this purpose, I would never make the train big enough to support thousands of stowaways should that happen.
He didn't. That's why
for elite rich people.
Yeah, he didn't. That's why they're like really having a hard time back there in the back and eating those disgusting bars of food and resorting to cannibalism, and they're always killing them off and taking away their breeding rights.
Oh. Well, I guess that makes sense. You are on a train. You can't be having a bunch of kids.
I highly value my breeding rights. You might. I feel like, look, I don't want kids. I just want practice. And
oh, you can have all the practice you want, but they sterilize the women.
Oh, well, that's actually that's.
Oh, that doesn't affect me at all.
Not at all. Not at all.
Never mind. Now
no problem with that at all.
You just got to muscle down some bug bars and get used to.
This all happens in the first episode, but just to give you a general idea of what the story is about, a murder happens aboard the train amongst like the first or second class people, like the snooty people, and they got to get to the bottom of it. So Jennifer Connelly finds out, but by searching through the passenger manifest, that in the tail of the train there is a guy who used to be a homicide detective. So they pull him out of the tail to like investigate this murder, and so he's suddenly getting exposed to like real food and being able to see the sun for the first time in 7 years, and like going through all of that. And it's pretty fucking cool to like see him slowly like get out of the haze of living in the shit end of the train and like get accustomed.
They come down to the shit end of the train. They can ask any occupation. I'm standing up. We have a professional cocksucker. Yeah, let me in the front. Let me in the front. Do we have a guy we could just beat indiscriminately? I'm your man.
I can take a punch.
Headshots only, please. I've got Homer Simpson.
I have a cup of water. Yeah.
But
Kyle, why are they stuck on the train? That's important.
So what happened was use of fossil fuels, global warming was happening, and then I think there was also like a war, maybe a nuclear war.
Yeah.
And the world was getting really hot as a result of all of that. So the scientists created this stuff that they would launch into the atmosphere to create a cooling effect, but it sort of ran away with them, and it cooled, like the surface is negative 120 degrees Celsius.
They
And
did
I
a
had
great job.
and I had to Google that. That's
Yeah.
negative 180 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's
Hans,
so
did you
cold.
carry Zets 1? Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. It's going to be
It's so-
freezing out here.
It's so cold on the outside that they utilize the cold air outside as like a torture and execution method.
Oh, I
like-
remember that. They stick the okay, well, yeah.
They put the people's hand out the porthole and like freeze their arms off and then shatter them with a hammer. But then there's a scene where like they just have a hose hooked up so they can just apply a little cold air at a time and like freeze a finger off if they want. And like the execution method is called like ice lungs or something like that, where they like put a breathing apparatus on you and they hook the cold air up so you inhale it and then just freeze your insides and kill you that way. Like there's all
After that,
huh?
do they eat them after
They
that?
compost you.
Oh, I was wondering why they didn't just airlock them out. Like,
Yeah, or just throw them off the chain.
Yeah, because of the limited resources. They want the bodies for compost. And the show does a really good job of showing just how enormous the train is. It's like it's over 1,000 cars long. And there's this part where like they're in the tail and they're talking. They're like, they're never gonna give us like our own beds and a place to stay. He's like, dude, they've got a bowling alley up there. All right, they have room for us. Like, because they've got a bowling alley. They've got like an aquarium.
Can you imagine a dumber sport to play on a moving train?
I didn't think that through.
Maybe pool.
Pool, ping pong.
At least you're not going to die from a pool table.
Dude, on these Disney cruises, there's ping pong tables up on like the deck next to the pools and stuff. And it's like
Gyroscope.
everything's moving around and imagine ping pong in like a boat that's going 19 miles an hour through 30-mile-an-hour wind. Like what? This is the worst game ever. The balls are just zipping all over one side.
So many balls just go into the sea.
You hit it at the other guy and it stops and goes back at you.
Like,
Yeah, it's a pretty good show. And there's a lot of class warfare going on. That's what made me think of it is this Wall Street Bet stuff. Some of the first class passengers are just like actually literally evil. So that's really fun. Jennifer Connelly is super hot as she always is.
How far are you into it?
I finished the first season today, and I watched the first episode of the second season. And again, I like to avoid spoilers, but they introduce a huge new character played by an actor we all know in the beginning of the second season. Like a really
what actor it is isn't a spoiler. We don't even know who he's playing.
Al thinks it is a spoiler, so maybe take his judgment.
It's a big actor. He's in some of our favorite movies and TV shows.
No, Tom
Homer
Cruise.
Simpson.